Yeah, I'm Coach Peck, Mike Peck, head football coach at Prairie High School in Vancouver, Washington. Going on year 4 here. I still kind of consider it year 3 as a last year kind of we weren't allowed to do anything for pretty much a whole year. Um, but yeah, before that, I was a OC at another high school in Vancouver, Washington. Was there for about 7 years, and um, then right after that, I had a stint as the receiver coach at Central Washington University, and then this head coaching job opened up at Prairie, and that's where I've been. And Prairie's traditionally really struggled, but in year 2, the last normal season we had, we won the league title for the first time in 30 years, and made a decent run in the state playoffs, and we're looking to get back to that, and since we have a little bit of normalcy and can actually be in the weight room and do those things. So we're excited about this upcoming season. And yeah.
Coach Utavius Ingram, year 14 overall, year 4 in Texas, spent 5 years in Alabama, 5 years in Georgia. This is my second year at Horn High School. I coached receivers last year. This year I'm handling quarterbacks, passing game, and co-offensive coordinator. Go wide zone to the boundary off of jet motion. We're going to do that for one or two reasons. One, I want to see how he's going to adjust to the motion. And two, it's going to set up speed sweep that complements our wide zone. So we are in a H-back set, queen, which is away from the multiples, and we'll motion to it, of course. Up front, I'll just start with the offensive line first. The cover offensive lineman, we're trying to go backside knee through crotch and try to overtake those guys. Good defensive lines are taught that they don't want to be weak, so they're going to try to fight it. If they're going to fight it, we'll just stay on what we call our lines of force and just kind of watch those guys. Uncovered linemen are going 3-step decisions to pull, to either overtake, let them go, or knock them over. Quarterback, of course, he's seating the ball, faking jet sweep. He's going to his aim point. Running back has a 5-step decision. He's making a decision on his 3rd step and cut on his 5th step. He's reading the hat of the tackle to the block of the center for whether he's outside or he's cutting it back. The boot, we're going to look at the backside end to figure out if he's up the field, if he's squeezing hard, to kind of figure out what we want to do off of it, whether it's jet sweep. We also want to figure out what we want to do in our play action game. We'll push crack with the play side receiver on the outside backer, just in case we're able to get to the edge. We have a guy for that guy, and we'll backside cut off. So that's how we do our wide zone, and what we'll start the game off with.
This is kind of a game plan thing as well, and I wasn't sure if that was more of a fake fly motion type action, or if that was like right along the line of scrimmage, because that's two different things for us. But if we get it where it looks like it's going to be a fly sweep, we have a couple fly sweep checks that we like to go to. Ends up being cover 0. But one of the things we want to do is obviously take away the fly sweep first, because that's usually one of the better athletes on the field. So we're going to get our fly sweep check. We're going to bring in the house. It's a run blitz where we want to be gap integrity. So to start off with that backside linebacker, where when that F goes in motion, he knows he's screaming the blitz out. Again, this would be an R word for us. I'm not going to say it because I know my opponents will be watching this. But now he's coming off the backside edge as part of that auto check, and he's going to settle down. And then obviously end is going to pinch into that B gap. Backside inside backer, he's responsible for that A gap. So once he sees that guy go in motion, he hears the call. He's creeping up, and he's not waiting. He's trying to hit that hard. Nose slants to the A gap of the side the motion's coming to. One thing we do like is with that D end to the side the motion's coming to. We like to pinch him hard, keep him in that B gap, because now that backer has the gap outside of him, and we want the better athlete outside. And then another big part of that is that outside linebacker to the fly sweep side. He has to come down, and he's responsible for basically boxing that fly sweep and making sure it doesn't get outside him and force him to cut it back to where we have the penetration coming from. And if for some reason he runs a route, he's locked on with him in cover zero. So obviously both corners are locked on. Because that outside linebacker is going, safety has to come downhill, and he's man on that Y. So again, all we get the call, we see the motion, get the call, we're moving, and we're not waiting post snap for that movement. We're getting into it right away. And so that safety should end up about 6 yards, pretty much just head up on that Y. And then the Falcon backer, which is our middle backer, he has no gap assignment. So that's one of our best athletes. He's got to be a missile to the ball. So he's actually not reading anything except pretty much the back at this point. We know we're canceling the fly sweep, so he's reading QB in the back, and he's going to be a missile shot to wherever that ball ends up going. So that would be our fly sweep check for that, and that's how we would start to defend that, which goes back into some of his good questions about how we would adjust the motion and things like that. And obviously, that's a good part of where the chess game comes in. Based on situation, so like I said, we're multiple 3-4. So obviously, you saw we were in a stack there. But now with the true spread set, we're going to get in our tight front into our 3-4 quarters package. So based on situation, 2nd and 3, second quarter, plus 40, down 7. In my mind, I'm expecting the offense to be able to take a shot here or be aggressive. It was kind of a great situation for that. So we're going to play one of our pass defenses, or play coverage, I should say. And so it's part of our cover 4 package. I'm not big on sending 3, but in this situation, I'm okay with playing coverage on that. So again, with our 4 eyes, they're just going to step into their B gap and maintain that leverage. Nose is going straight through the center. They're playing run first and reacting to pass. Obviously, once they get to see that pass set, they're getting after it. So this is one of our trap coverages. So corners and safeties want to look like we're in like a true cover 4 look. But at the snap, the corner's going to step outside, and they're going to mirror that outside shoulder of the number 1. And they're going to try to, if he tries to widen and run that fade, he's going to force him to the sideline, basically like a cover 2 corner, right? And he's going to trail that near hip on both sides with his eyes inside. So as soon as anything breaks out, he's going to jump and trap that. So think of a deep out or a fade with a deep out. He's going to be on that near hip underneath, trailing that, and as soon as he sees number 2 break out, he's going to trap that. The outside linebacker in our systems, they're basically a safety for us. We ask a lot of them, but in this coverage, as the cadence goes, he would start creeping, and he knows his ass has to get over the top of the number 1, and that's basically his man now at that point. So he knows he has help underneath with the corner playing that near hip, but he's now the deep player in that 4th per se, and that's both sides. Inside backers, they're going to drop hook to curl. They also have back out their side. So if back flares or if runs a shoot, the backer has hook to curl. He's going to pattern match that and come down and match it up. The safeties, they're 10 by 2, so 10 yards deep, 2 yards inside of the number 2 receiver, and they're reading his release. If he pushes vertical, they're matched up. If he does anything where he goes to the flat right away or runs a shallow, he gives an out and in call, and now he's free to basically double team over the top of number 1, et cetera, et cetera. So this would be obviously, like we said, a passing situation. So we're going to play coverage here. and we're just going to run our cover four trap uh, defense. So that's what we're looking at right there.
2nd and 3 plus 40, down 7 second quarter. So thinking, this is shot territory. So we're going to go with one of our shot concepts, and it's going to be the outside choice to the field. I'll start up front with the offensive line, and then I'll work my way from left to right, and I hit running back and quarterback. So up front, since he's a true odd front, they're going to drop. We'll be in 5-man protection, so we'll dual or double dual both sides. Basically, the center is sticking in on the nose, and the guard and tackle are working outside in, meaning they are responsible for the 2 of the first 3 most dangerous to their side. If nothing shows for the guards in the B gap, they can work back inside A gaps and help with the center. Center knows he has to give a little ground. Those guards typically tend to be stronger, so they can give a little ground and kind of help them out a little bit. Tackles do a vertical set with the tackles and try to clean up the pocket for the quarterback. So working left to right. The boundary is so choice overall. You can mirror it, or you can go split field concept read for the quarterback. So this would be a split field concept read for the quarterback. The outside receivers running a hitch. The slot guys running the fade just in case we get some kind of rotation by the safety. And I'll talk about the quarterback's reads here in just a second, but that's to the boundary, to the field. The slot has what we call a bury route. He's trying to bury the inside. He's trying to bury the safety from getting over the top. So he's running at 10 yards to his inside shoulder. Now he has to make a decision if he's going to post a dig based off the rotation of that safety. So the choice happens outside with our outside receiver to the field. He's pushing 10 yards, aiming at the corner's inside shoulder. Once he gets to 10 yards, he's making his decision. If the corner, for some reason, stays inside and he can win outside on the vertical route, or throw the ball, get the band playing. If the corner stays outside or he can't win outside, now he looks at the safety and he's determining if the safety disappears, he's going to post. If the safety bails or drops, he's going to dig it. And if the corner and safety both sit over the top, he'll sit it down at 10, and we'll take the curl, get a first down, move chains, and play on. The running back is running a short option route off the first inside backer. He's reading that guy. If he's flying out, he'll jerk back inside. The linebacker sits. He'll push outside, and if the linebacker flies out, some kind of temperature or something like that, he'll just sit it down. And we'll take that check down. But again, first down. The quarterback, he is reading the drop of the boundary safety rotation. If that boundary safety was to roll cover 3, he wouldn't be, become the guy we would read. If he worked into the box, of course, I would want to take the shot on the slot fade. If the rotation went away and went to the field, we can still take it. If they stay static too high, or the roll comes from the field, then we'll work that side. But that's typically how we teach it and run it. We'll be again wide zone, but this time we'll RPO off of it on the backside with the unblocked overhang. So I talk about the wide zone first. Again, talked about it earlier. Everybody's running their line of force. Unblocked defenders are going backside, knee through crotch. Uncovered lineman has their 3-step decision to overtake, knock them over, or climb. Running back is opened up. He's running. He's making his cuts on his 3rd step after the mesh. He still has his first read being a tackle for to bang it or to bend it back. Second read becomes the center. He knows how to read it. Something's not reached until the hat of that lineman is outside. So that's kind of how we teach it. The RPO is what we call the do concept. He can either run a glance route, a dig, or an out, and he can run a vertical if he overhang, wants to get kind of nosy in the box and try to, fit it or flow with it, we'll pull it and throw the RPO on the backside. Just kind of what football's going to last 8, 10 years. So that's what we'll do.
It's a run situation for us. We would kind of consider this, it's not a two-back set, but as a base, we'd consider a two-back set, so we'd be kind of in our stack. But we're going to go with our double C-gap blitz by our inside backers. So that means our ends are pinching to try to cancel B-gaps, prevent guards or tackles from climbing up to the second level. And to that, what we'd call the single receiver side, that backer is walked up kind of right behind that end, just where he's nice and tight, so we can play that little stunt game there and get in our gap right away. We bring that outside linebacker over from the the weak side to the YW side, tight and wing side, and they're going to be manned up right there. A safety will be free over the top. He's probably going to start over the middle of the ball and start at the snap, kind of cheat to the wide side a little bit. Like I said, we're in man everywhere else. We'll have because this for us is a run situation, so we're getting our run blitz. Our Falcon will be blitzing one of the A gaps, and that's which A gap is up to him. So he would give a call to the nose. So in this instance, he'd give a call for the nose to go to the left A gap, and he's shooting the right A gap, the opposite of where the back is. And that would be, all this is from depth. We can give a call to where we can scoot it up, but this is just from depth. So basically, again, it's a run situation. We got a run blitz. We're trying to be gap integrity, and we're anticipating the run here. And one thing we can do as well is we can just go straight cover zero, which is going to benefit even the one high can benefit coach here with that backside kind of glance, right? But we could walk him down, the safety down to where he's kind of the robber, 6 to 8 yards, and he's reading flow and just flying to the ball from there. But we're going to, in this situation, we're going to try to bring pressure and disrupt things and try to, if it is a play action or if he pulls and tries to RPO it, hopefully we're getting in the QB's face and messing up that throw a little bit. But obviously it puts a little bit of pressure on our corners and outside linebackers. But in this situation, we're banking that they're going to run the ball and try to keep milking clock. And we can get a stop there and get off the field. Last play of the game, like you said, we want to take away the pass. That's our big thing here. If you're going to beat us, you better be running from there. And even if you do hand it off, I mean, we shouldn't give anything up. We'll rally to it. But part of our umbrella package, and again, depending on where we're at in the field, that will change our alignment. But basically with our umbrella package is our linebackers will line up to where their pass drop would naturally be. So they're already there. So to the trip side, the outside linebacker should be just inside the number 2 at depth, probably about 8 yards, halfway between him and the goal line in this instance. And he should be walling that and taking away anything quick hitters to him. Same with the inside linebacker with the number 3 receiver. He should be taking away any quick throw to him. Once the Y clears or does anything else, that inside backer is going to have eyes to the QB, and he has ball come, I come. So anytime that QB starts scrambling, he's going to shoot and go attack that QB and keep him contained. And that goes for both inside backers to both sides. Starting up front, the end, nose, end. We're not telling them to worry about run. They would have a bullets call, which means you're getting after the QB. You have one responsibility. Use your best move, and you're going. So nose can choose what gap he wants to go to. We're going to bring a 4th rusher off the back side with that outside linebacker. If tailback goes out, he does have to peel off with that. He has back out his side. But if tailback stays in or he hands it off, he's part of that run fit there. Um, Backside corner, you pretty much have to assume you're one-on-one there. But the backside safety, he's reading number 3 to the field. Again, if Y does anything where he's underneath linebackers, he breaks out right away, or just pushes straight up vertical in his seam, now he's 2-on-1 to the backside. So kind of like TCU with their special coverage, a little bit right there. But the big thing with this is just our alignment and taking away the pass first, and being able to rally to whether it might be a slow screen from the back, or maybe, I don't know, OC is ballsy enough to hand it off there, rally to that. But we're going to take away the easy throw and hopefully be able to get some pressure up front. And depending how the routes distribute, we can get 2-on-1 over the backside, and then obviously we'll be fine to the front side as well. So yeah, and again, the big thing here is probably you're going to get QB scramble. So really important for those inside backers to remember Balka might come, and once they see that QB leak out to their side, they got to be shot at as a missile going to the near hip. And the flat player, the outside linebacker, who's at a little bit more depth as an umbrella, he has to be disciplined enough to stay back into his covered responsibility. Because when he comes up, that's usually when something opens up, and you get beat that way. So that's what we do there. Umbrella package, take away all the quick intermediate throws, seam route type stuff, and hopefully force the QB to scramble and throw on improvised play.
With what we call choice swap, on the swap responsibilities with number 2 and number 3. I just start from the field first. The single receiver is going to do what we call a run back. Normally it's 10, and he's coming back on the field, but because it's on plus 13, 2 seconds left, tell him to take it to the goal, 2 steps in the end zone, so put him at 15, running back to the goal line. Running back is going on a flip or a bounce motion, starting on the 3 receiver side, moving to the single. I'm putting him on what we call a shoot route. Basically, he's angling at a point to outflank their backer, and then he's just going to pop back inside, almost like a post route. Try to see if we can get him one-on-one with that backer, and try to maybe pop it in over his head at about the 2-yard line, and he can get in and beat the safety. He's kind of in between the linebacker and the safety to that side. To the multiple receiver side, we're going to go choice swap, man. The F is now going to become the number 3 off the switch release. He's trying to bury the safety and keep him from getting over the top of the choice route by the number 2 guy. And the number 1 to that side has to run back like we do on the other side, just kind of keep those corners at bay. He's still reading the safety, keep it vertical or take it to the post. Quarterback still going through his read from the backside safety, watching his rotation, and just know that he has to make a play, get it to the playmakers up front. They're going to do. I mean, they'll take two of the most dangerous of the 3 to their side. Guards, if they don't get anything in that B gap, they can kind of help back inside with the center on the nose. If anything I can do to help anybody out there, don't hesitate to ask. My Twitter is at Coach Ingram 1834. Just try to remember that 2 things in your program matter the most, and that's the kids and the ball. Without the kids, you don't have a program, and without the ball, you can't score with it. And if you can't take it away from the other team and stop them from scoring, it's going to be kind of long. Just those 2 things.
Awesome. Yeah, I echo what Coach said. If there's anything I can ever do for anybody, please feel free to reach out, even if you just want to talk ball. I love this stuff. My Twitter's at Coach Peck 11. Um, so feel free to reach out, and yeah, I wish everybody the best of luck this season as we kind of get back to some normalcy. And I'm looking forward to the football season, and hopefully everybody has a great one, stays healthy, and can get after it.